I'm the best. You are obviously not the best.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Wes Grant. You're watching Sub Urban Nerd. This channel will get my nerd reviews. On today's nerd reviews, I also do movie reviews, and let me just give a quick summary of this movie. It's a agent, the best agent that the United States government's got, and he retires or tries to leave, and they send another younger agent to go after them and kill them. Wait, I think I've heard that storyline before. You know what? I'll narrow it down even more. The same agent, but younger, goes to assassinate the older agent that's the best. Wait, no, I think I've heard that one too. You know what? I'm gonna just say, I'm giving a review on Gemini Man. Yes, Gemini Man. And this is a movie starring Will Smith, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and Benedict Wong. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, if you don't remember her, she is the chick from Scott Pilgrim Saves the World, and after seeing what she did in that with the action and the fighting, whatever, definitely could see how she definitely did her thing in this movie. And Benedict Wong, we all love this dude. We love him from the Doctor Strange movies. We do. We love him, you know? So, I'm gonna say this thing right now. Usually if you haven't watched any of my reviews, I pretty much give like a gist of how I felt about the movie, and then I, tell you about the movie and pros and cons. And then I give a grade at the end. So, this movie, I'm gonna say was, that's the best I could really do. And I was expecting a whole lot more, greatness from this movie. Now, it's not a bad movie. It's definitely not a bad movie, by no means. But it's nothing that special. Like the way they promoted it, like, oh, this new technology, it's sort of like de-aging, which apparently they didn't use de-aging technology. It's this whole other technology, whatever. But it's like, oh, this is revolutionizing this technology, and also it's running at 120 frames per second. And I'm gonna tell you this: a lot of people were kind of worried about this or iffy about this because 120 frames per second is sort of like what it looks like soap opera. If when you're watching football on TV, that's so real. That's really like it moves too real for as far as I think movies usually are projected at 30 frames per second. Most TV and movies are projected at 30 frames per second. The only one where I remember I watched it was the Hobbit movie, where it did it at 60 frames. And I'm gonna tell you what, the Hobbit movie, it was a lot more noticeable with the Hobbit movie than it was with this movie. I was very, very surprised. This movie did it well because 120 frames, it was smooth and it was crisp and it was like clear. That's all it was. It was a super clear. It didn't look like the soap opera. Like I was watching it trying to see, but like I said, if you watch the Hobbits, it wasn't as bad as that. The Hobbit movie where they did it in 60 frames per second, that was, especially when they were going in the water and the buckets, the barrels, that looked way too crazy, like the way it was moving. But this one, it was smooth and it's crisp. Now I'm gonna tell you what, Will Smith, he always brings his A game, he always goes at it hard, and he did a great job playing the two roles in this movie. He played a younger version of himself, West Philadelphia, born and raised, in the playground where I spent most of my days. Yeah, it was mostly like that. This is the Will Smith you were watching. You were watching The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but an assassin. And then, which is kind of funny because Will Smith, you find out in the movie, he's from Philly. So they kept that whole background. But yeah, and then Mary Elizabeth Winstead, she's tasked with watching him, I guess, after he's retiring. And if you don't know, basically something happens. He kills someone that apparently wasn't what he thought he was. And then to clear up their mess, they send the younger Will Smith after the older Will Smith to kill him, and as a rite of the passage to take over the mantle as being the best assassin in the world. Now, Will Smith, the movie where it fails to me is the plot, because like I said, so many movies have done this, like even better. Like you've got the Bourne Identity or the Bourne Legacy, basically the Bourne series, right? They did it so much crazier. And then as far as the fighting, this movie had some good fight scenes, definitely some good fight scenes, good chase scenes, but not by no means nowhere near the level of what you've seen in a Bourne movie. This thing had some cool ones here and there, and then the fighting close combat was pretty good. But it was dark as hell when Will Smith was fighting hand-to-hand combat with himself. So it's like, okay, you're trying to appreciate the combat, but it's damn hard to see. And then Mary Elizabeth Winstead, yeah, see, her and Benedict Wong were basically, they were their exposition. They were there so that things could get explained, and we as viewers could watch and understand a little bit more. Because if you don't have them, Will Smith is just traveling around the world trying not to get killed by his younger self, because there's not that much dialogue. The way he plays his character, I guess he couldn't be very charismatic as he normally is, because, you know, this is assassin, a veteran assassin that's, you know, just all about military. So he had his little quips here and there, but it wasn't the Will Smith we're used to seeing. In the, like I said, the storyline is nothing like you ever see. Like I was going through a bunch of movies in Salt with Angelina Jolie, where the government's going after her. In fact, Enemy of the State, I think, better damn storyline than this, because things are very predictable. You knew what was gonna happen. What's gonna happen? I'm sorry to spoil it, but by the end, young Will Smith teams up with old Will Smith. It's just something that happens whenever they sending out these assassins, and then there's something kind of thing. All of a sudden, what? Oh, you find out the people that sent me to kill you is bad, and then, oh man, no, I'm sorry. It was kind of predictable and sort of generic. And like I said, I still enjoyed my time watching this movie. It was sort of a fun ride, but I expect a little bit more, as much as they were promoting this movie, as much as they were talking about this movie. And Will Smith, like I said, Will Smith has done better movies. The only thing that this movie has going for it is this whole gimmick of Will Smith versus Will Smith. And I'm gonna ask you one thing. People, when you watch that movie, watch it again or whatever, tell me, why does he still have a 3 o'clock shadow here? There ain't nothing here. I don't understand it. That was bothering me most of the movie. I don't understand. Like, I'm sure you can, like, dog, you seem like a capable man. You can shape up both sides. I don't understand what was going on. Why he would just, why this was going to here. And I sound like I'm crazy, but watch the movie and you'll see. It's the weirdest thing. This is clean as hell. Meanwhile, he has like this 3 o'clock shadow all up on the right side. And it was blowing my mind. And then the CG, or whatever technology they use for the de-aging or whatever, it was amazing. It looked good through the whole movie until the end. When you're seeing a young Will Smith, and all of a sudden he's talking to him and they're smiling or whatever, and I'm like, what's wrong with his face? Something's off with it, man. It's scaring me. It really was. It's just, I don't know what. Like, it's like they lost the budget close to the end of the movie. This movie, I'm sorry, but this movie is not going to make a lot of money. I'm sorry, I can already see that. This movie might be a flop for Will Smith, considering Will Smith just came off his most top grossing movie ever, which with Aladdin. Yeah, Aladdin's his top grossing movie. Look at his IMDb. Check out all the movies he's done. Aladdin's the highest grossing movie he's ever done, including Independence Day, including everything, Bad Boys, anything you can think of. Aladdin has beat it. And it's like, wow, really? It shocks me. But with this movie, like I said, he's not going to win any awards. He's not getting no Oscar nominations. He's done better movies as far as portraying a role. Sure, he did his thing, and even as a young Will Smith with crying, the emotional moments, yes, but at the same time, you didn't feel that much, because it's like Will Smith. It's like, I would have been surprised if they killed off the Will Smith, and then there was a twist at the end where it's like, I kind of saw that coming. Once you saw this person coming after them both, you kind of knew what was going to happen, and I don't want to spoil it to you, but like I said, I'm sorry, but I have to give this movie the grade. If I have to give this movie, I will give it a C+. C+ is the highest I can go for this movie. Why? Because the storyline has been done before. The CG was pretty good until all the way at the end. The locations, exotic. The cinematography was okay. Fight choreography, I've seen better, but I still enjoyed seeing a Will Smith movie. So that's pretty much my review for Gemini Man. If you guys feel the same way, remember to comment down below and tell me what you think. If you think I'm off, let me know. Tell me I'm wrong. Give me examples, because I can give you examples why I'm right. Even more so than what I've already done. Remember to like this video, tell all these people. Remember to subscribe. Check out my last movie review. Check out my playlist of movie reviews. And remember, I'm Wes Grant. You've been watching Sup Urban Nerd, and you've just been nerdified. Catch you guys on the next movie review.